No Brainer MMA. I am your host, Connor. This is my trusty sidekick, Dan.
Sidekick? The fuck? Get out of here with that.
I like that. That was like from a sitcom. Sidekick. And like the laughter. I got the Charlie Olives glasses on. Yeah.
Yeah, take those off as soon as possible because
Dan keeps saying I look like a douche, but you know what? I don't see it. All I see is a cool guy staring right back at me. And I'm like, wow. I like that a lot.
Yeah, shout out to Starbucks.
No, but I can't do that. It's so dark.
Their chai tea lattes.
Black water.
You mean Guinness?
Let's get right into this. What are we calling this? UFC Fight Night. Rob Font. Oh no, you want to talk about the fights? I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Two Bronx. Hell of a performance. Very impressed.
Yeah.
He weathered the storm that Dan Hooker wasn't able to survive in their fight. And then knocked Chandler out himself.
Yeah. You know, he rocked him in the first.
Yeah.
I saw the judges' scorecards too. Two judges had it 10-8 first round. Just craziness. Doesn't make any sense. I had it 10-9 Chandler. But
10-8?
Two of them.
It was competitive enough in the first.
Dude, you know how many takedowns Oliveira was able to stuff and get out of?
Yeah, Oliveira had his moments in the first round.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get it, but second round just slept him.
Slept him.
Yeah. I lost money. I'm gonna admit it. I don't care.
This was the worst card I've ever had, so I'm sorry to those of you that bet me this week.
Yeah, but you know what? We dig down deep, and I went hard for this one. And I'm actually going to throw out. I told Dan earlier I'm going to throw out some locks this week. I haven't done that in a while. I don't like locks. I'm superstitious. When I lock something, I think it's going to do bad. But I'm going to give the fans a couple of locks this week.
That's my boy.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we're going to get right into Tony Ferguson. Actually, Tony Ferguson. We're seeing the demise of Tony Ferguson, I think. And losing in that fight to what the fuck's that? Beneil Dariush. I actually won on that one though. I was kind of pumped. But poor Tony. It was tough betting against Tony. But
it's like the damage.
I saw it coming.
Everything has caught up to him at this point.
I saw, and that's when I gave the fight prediction, that's what I thought was going to happen. And I didn't want it to happen, but even Dana White after in the post-fight press conference was saying how he thinks this is the end for Tony.
I wouldn't say it's his last fight, but no. I'd say it's
maybe the end of his probably not a contract extension. That's what I would say. So he's got 3 fights, 2 max probably left, because all contracts have 3 fights, and he just fought once. So at most he has 2.
There's a lot of 6-fight contracts.
Yeah, I thought it was only 3.
No, there's a lot of
multiple year. You mean like a 2-year 6-fight contract?
2 years, 6 fights type deal.
I think, yeah, exactly. But like the most. Or the minimum that they'll give you per year fights is 3. Everyone's contract has 3 fights. You're allowed to fight 3 times a year.
Really?
Yeah. Like that's their thing. If you don't want to fight due to like injury or you're holding out for money purposes, that's but they'll give you 3 shots a year, which is a lot.
That's more than enough.
You gotta not get hurt to fight all 3, basically.
Yeah.
But anyway, Beneil Dariush looked great. Awesome. Got him in a heel hook late. He was throwing some up kicks on the ground, trying to knock him out. It was pretty wild. But
Tony was throwing the up kicks, you mean?
Yeah. But yeah, tough to see. We're gonna get right into this one, I guess. UFC Fight Night. We're in Vegas. UFC Fight Night Vegas 27. Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt.
Yep. And
you want to start the first one, Dan? You want me to do it?
Yeah, because I have a lock to start off the main card. Not the main card, the prelims.
There you
go.
We'll start it off. Damir Ismagulov versus Rafael Alves.
Yeah, so Alves is coming off a Contender Series win, if I'm not mistaken. He is, right?
Oh, I don't have it up right now.
I believe he is. He's another one of these contender series guys.
Yeah, he was.
His pro record is 19-9. He's struggled through top level competition throughout his career. Not top level competition per se, but just good competition. He has losses to Wagner Rocha, and we all know Wagner Rocha is a sick fighter. Do you know who Frank Carrillo is?
No.
He has a split decision win over him. It's pretty impressive. He's been submitted before. He's been TKO'd by retirement before. I mean, this guy's been through the gutter, per se.
Through the ringer.
Yeah. He is number 2. He is ranked 2 of regional U.S. pro lightweights, though. So that's something he has going for him. But that's about all he's got going for him. He's fighting Damir Ismagulov. This guy's 22-1. His 3-0 in the UFC so far, dating back to 2018. He's looked nothing short of fairly fantastic in his fights. With his last win over Thiago Moises. Thiago Moises is no joke himself.
Yeah, he's all right.
He beat Alexander Hernandez. He beat Michael Johnson. He beat Bobby Green. The Bobby Green fight, I'm pretty sure, was an iffy fight.
Robbery.
And he scheduled to fight Islam Makhachev next, and this guy's a win over him. And a pretty convincing win at that. In his fight with Moises, he outlanded him basically 2-1, had a knockdown in the fight. It stayed on the feet for almost basically the entirety of the fight. What's it called? They both tried to take each other down a couple times, so there was some clinch work. Ismagulov attempted 5 total takedowns, and Moises attempted 3 takedowns. All of them were stuffed. And it stayed on the feet. And like I said, if I didn't say it already, Ismagulov got a knockdown in that fight. And I look at Thiago Moises as a pretty solid opponent, So without a doubt, I'm going to take Ismagulov in this fight. I'm going to lock that one in. He's a minus 550 favorite for a reason.
That's a lock. That's a lock right there, you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, Ismagulov, 22-1 record, 3-0 in the UFC, currently on a 17-fight winning streak, all wins by dominating unanimous decisions in the UFC. He's the former M1 lightweight champion and has
an M1 experience.
And he's got a master in sports and hand-to-hand combat and a plus 1.89 striking differential. He's good wherever the fight goes, basically. And he's taken on Rafael Alves, who's 1-0 under the UFC umbrella, like Dan said, coming off that Contender Series win. It was a submission victory. in a fight where he was getting beat up on the feet, but was able to get a takedown, and which led to the sub. But he was definitely losing that fight if you go back and watch that fight until that point.
What's his name?
Rafael Alves.
Yeah. His Contender Series fight?
Yes.
It was a close fight, though.
But he was losing the fight, right?
It was a back and forth. It seemed he was probably losing.
Yeah, he was. Well, it was the second. He lost the first round. I don't know. You can go back and watch that. You can.
I'm saying it was a pretty close fight. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was close. It was close. And then he took him down, which led to the submission. And yeah, I just didn't like that. His stand up wasn't that great. And I think that his Magomedov will be able to stuff Alves's takedowns if they do come, and just pick him apart on the feet. So I'm going to agree with you, Dan. I'm going as Magomedov all day in this.
Yeah.
The odds are kind of the odds are funny though, because I think it's a lot closer than a minus 550. Call me crazy, but I don't know. It's like, as Magomedov goes to decision a lot, anything could happen in a decision. And a minus 550, I don't know. I just think it's disrespectful a little bit. I don't call me crazy.
Hey, you're crazy, but I love it.
Thanks, man. We're agreeing on this first one. I'm going Damir as We're both going Damir as Magomedov, and we're gonna move right into the next one. Yancey Medeiros versus Damir Hadzvovic. Is that yours, Dan?
Checking.
Is that the next
one?
Yeah,
2 Damirs in a row.
Yeah, damn, that's weird.
You don't see that every day.
Yeah, right. Hadzvovic is 2-3 in his last 5, currently on a 2-fight losing streak. He has an even striking differential and has higher striking accuracy and striking defense than Yancey. He's prone to getting taken down, but also I don't really see Yancey grappling in this, so he doesn't really have to worry in this fight. He only averages 0.12 takedowns per fight. Yancey Medeiros is 0-3 since 2018. He only fought once a year also, which I don't really like to see either. I like to see people stay a little more active than that. Most recently coming off a unanimous decision loss to Lando Venata, who we saw last weekend make his featherweight debut and just kill it. He's a UFC veteran, has been in the UFC since 2013. He's fought in Strikeforce before that too, but still only 33 years old, pretty young guy. That's like prime, I would say still. But I think that his chin might have just given up a little bit. He's been KO'd, TKO'd 2 out of his last 3 fights. And
one being the Cowboy.
Yeah. And the last fight he won 4 fights ago, he was knocked down twice, but was able to recover.
Yancey Medeiros versus Cowboy Oliveira fight was
that was a war.
That was a war.
But still, it showed his chin was, he got knocked down twice. Questionable there. But I see this fight staying on the feet, and I think Hadzvovic will be able to get this one done.
Yeah, this guy, Damir Hadzvovic. Yeah, his last 2 losses are to Renato Moicano and Christos Giagos, and that's solid competition.
Oh, yeah.
Renato Moicano, ATT alum, or at least he trains there for a little bit. That guy has high level competition. I know he lost 3 of his last 4, but 3, the fights went Jose Aldo, Korean Zombie, and Rafael Fazayev. So
that's tough. That's tough for anyone.
Yeah. This is, I'm not trying to disrespect, but this fight's a little gross. It's the first fight is a lock. This fight could kind of go either way. I could see this fight being a split decision type deal,
I could see that for sure.
So it's something that I would probably stay away from. Yeah, I'm gonna stay. I would stay away from this one. I'm going to. It's tough because Yancey's just. I love Yancey Medeiros. It's hard not to,
Of course. I feel like he's a fan favorite. I go as far as saying that.
And this guy Damir Hadzovic. What's it called? He got taken down and subbed in 44 seconds in his last fight against Moicano.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
There's a glaring weakness in his game, and I think that's.
Yeah, but do you see Medeiros taking him down and subbing him? I do not.
No, Medeiros isn't really a takedown type of guy,
He does have 4 submissions in his career, but no, that's not what he really does. He's a stand-up guy.
Exactly. So I think this fight stays on the feet, and I think we're gonna get a split decision.
Oh,
I'm gonna go.
are you gonna bet a split decision this weekend?
I don't know if I can bet a split decision.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'll bet decision.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though these guys have the potential to put each other out, I'm going to take Damir as well. 2 Damirs in a row.
2 Damirs in a row. I like that. All right, cool. We're both agreeing. We're both going Damir Hadzovic, and we're gonna move right into the next one: Joshua Culibao versus Elon Shah.
All right, yeah. So Josh Culibao, Kuya is his nickname.
Culibao.
5'10", 73-inch reach, solid frame for the division. He's got a really good. He's got some solid BJJ as well. He's coming off a draw to Charles Air Jourdain, and now he's fighting Elon Shah, the Chinese Wolverine. He's gonna have a pretty not that big, but he's gonna have a 2-inch height disadvantage, 2-inch reach disadvantage. This guy's a grappler too. He's making his UFC debut. Is he one of the guys fighting out of the Shanghai Performance Institute? I should have looked that up.
I got you, dog. He is fighting out of the Longyun MMA gym.
Yeah, it's just like I've been sketchy with these Chinese fighters making their
gas tanks
UFC debuts because they have been unsuccessful recently.
Yeah, they've been doing bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Culibao. I think that he just has more keys to victory than Elon Shah. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna take Kuya in this one.
Yeah, Culibao. Elon Shah is making his UFC debut. He's got a 19-6 MMA record. He's finished 14 out of 19 fights and wins mostly by KO. He's very active. He fought 6 times in 2020, only losing to Zhu Rong, who we saw recently, Dan, make his UFC debut and lose. But put up a good fight. He's fighting at lightweight. This fight is he was fighting at lightweight. This fight right now is going to be taking place at featherweight. And he's going to be taking on Joshua Culibao, who's 0-1-1 in his UFC career, coming off a split decision draw to Charles Jourdain. Only has 10 pro fights, winning mostly by KO, TKO. Culibao is currently sitting at a minus 255 favorite, and I'm not really sure why it's that large. We've seen a lot of Chinese fighters lose lately, like Dan was saying earlier, exposing their gas tanks in particular. I think that this fight is a lot. I think that this fight's a lot closer than that, though. A minus 255. I think that Culibao is kind of one sided. He's never gotten a submission, and he's 0 for 10 for takedowns over the course of his 2 UFC fights. I think that Elon Shaw is more well-rounded fighter, and I think that he might be able to win it here. And I'm gonna roll with Elon Shaw.
Interesting underdog pick.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so we're gonna disagree on this one.
I mean, I disagree with the pick. I don't think he's gonna win, but
yeah, I totally get you. Dan's going Joshua Culibao, and I'm going Elon Shaw. We're gonna move right into the next one: Victor Rodriguez versus Bruno Silva. All right, Victor Rodriguez 0-1 in the UFC, losing to Adrian Yanez in a fight that Yanez took on short notice. Rodriguez had a different opponent that dropped out. I just don't have it listed right here. He's 7-3 MMA record, winning all of his fights by KO TKO. 4 of the wins on his 4 of his wins on his record. His opponent had 0 wins, and really doesn't have too much experience. And he's got
hang on, I'm grabbing something. You keep going. I'm listening.
I got you, dog. Yeah, and the competition that he's facing just isn't good either. I'll just be honest. He's taken on Bruno Silva, 1-2 and 1 no contest in UFC. Fights out of Fight Ready MMA with Cejudo, Drakkar Klose, and the Korean Zombie. With both of his UFC losses coming from really great competition and
Bruno Silva.
Yeah, and both his losses coming.
Yeah, he fights under Triple C.
Yeah, I just said that. He's
coach. I'm saying.
Great competition, and he's lost to great competition in David Dvorak and Tagir Ulanbekov. Most recently coming off a KO win over JP Buys, which is like really one-sided. Remember when both Buys lost, Dan? That was so embarrassing for them. They should get divorced. After getting, I think he was
they should get divorced.
I think he was fed to the dogs in his early UFC career. And honestly, I bet JP buys in that. And I saw Bruno Silva fight, and he's the real deal. I think now he's getting really great matchups in his favor, unlike his first 2 fights. And I think he's going to take this one, and I might even lock it.
I'm going to lock this one for Bruno Silva for sure. Bruno Silva he's had, like, against some of these fighters he's fought against, pulling up right now, like fucking Dvorak and Ulanbekov. He had some really good rounds in those fights, even though he lost.
Close fights. That's what I'm saying. He put up a fight.
Yeah, Bruno Silva's no joke.
He's no joke. He just got.
Unfortunately, I bought a little too much into the JP Buys hype. I thought he was gonna be, I thought he was gonna be a stud.
Right.
It just turned out not to be the case. Yeah. So Bruno Silva is a lock in my eyes. He's just plain nasty, and he's got a great gym. He's got a great support system. He's working out with Triple C. It doesn't really get better than that training wise. So I'm gonna say that Bruno Silva's a lock.
Wow. All right. So we're both locking this one. I love to hear that, Dan. We're both going Bruno Silva lock. We're gonna move right into the next one. Claudio Silva versus Court McGee. Dan, take it away.
All right. So Court McGee, the man's been dead before and came back.
I think he died a couple times, not just once.
Yeah. And you can tell he's different, man. But since 2016 in general, actually.
Yeah.
He lost to Santiago Ponzinibbio. He beat Dominique Steele. He lost to Ben Saunders. He lost to Sean Strickland. He beat Alex Garcia. And now he's on his 30-fight losing streak to Diego Lima, Sean Brady, and Carlos Condit.
Yep.
Not what you want to do. He's definitely towards the end of his career. He's in no way, shape, or form a top contender anymore, or he never really was. He's not even in his prime anymore. The odds are really, really close in this fight, which is surprising to me. I'm gonna take Claudio Silva, aka Hannibal, in this one. He's an ATT product. I know he's 38 years old. I believe he's a jiu-jitsu fighter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm looking throughout his career. It's a lot of
Got a black belt in BJJ.
He's definitely a high level submission fighter. I'm gonna take him over Court McGee. I know styles make fights, but I don't think Court McGee has much left in the tank.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Dan. Court McGee 1-4 in his last 5, is on a 3-fight losing streak. He's fighting some great competition, I will say that. He's been knocked down in each of his last 2 fights. 9 of his last 10 fights have gone to decision. He's not really doesn't have the killer instinct, and also like his chin, I think, is getting questionable. I think decision could be a good bet in this though, or the over in rounds. He's going to be taking on Claudio Silva, 5-1 in the UFC. Took about 4 years off due to injuries, but did return in 2018 and since has gone 3-1 and is coming off his first UFC loss to James Krause. He's a black belt in BJJ, like I said earlier, wins mostly by submission, averages 3 takedowns per fight. Silva is the older fighter out of the two, but McGee, like he's 39, I think, but McGee, only 33, has a lot more damage throughout his career.
36, I believe.
36, my bad. A lot more damage throughout his career, and I'm starting to question his chin, like I said before. Even though he does go to decision, I will say that, but the knockdowns are starting to add up. I do think he'll have to worry about that in this.
A lot of punishment.
Yeah, excuse me. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that in this fight. I still think that Silva will be able to get it done and get the win here.
Yeah, I think he out-grapples him. He maybe submits him.
Yeah. And I like Court McGee. Legend.
That'll bring us into the next one, Connor's favorite fight of the night, Big Ben Rothwell versus Chris Barnett.
All right. Dan's correct. The feared, the ducked, the Big Ben Rothwell. Since coming back from suspension, he's 2-3. He's got an iron chin, though. And I say this every time I talk about him, Dan. He's got an iron chin.
I know. We covered Ben Rothwell like
so 4 times now. And everyone's ducking him. He gets ducked like every week. So like we got to cover him every week.
He's getting ducked. It's just COVID and bad luck.
Man, he's ducking him, man. There's a reason they're not fighting him. He hasn't been KO'd in 12 years, and that's fighting the best competition at the heaviest weight class. He's coming off a one-sided unanimous decision loss from Marcin Tybura. He's going to be taking on MMA veteran Chris Barnett, who's making his UFC debut. He's fought in Ryzen and is known for his entertaining fight style, winning mostly by KO with 16 KOs under his belt. And also his like freak fights. He's fought at super heavyweight before too on several occasions. I don't want to talk bad about the guy, but I feel like he's just known for those freak fights. And he doesn't really have the skills to compete at this kind of level of competition. And the level of competition he's faced recently has been very poor. His last win coming from someone who was making their MMA debut, pro debut. They were 0-0. And his last 3 fights before that, his opponents were 5-2, 5-3, and 4-5. I think this fight is being handed to Ben Rothwell on a silver platter. And yeah, I'm gonna ride with Big Ben in this one all day.
Yeah, the thing with the heavyweights is anything can happen. So, but like you said, Big Ben Rothwell has an iron chin. So
yeah, iron chin.
What's gonna happen there?
I'm confident.
What?
I'm confident in my boy. Excuse me.
He could get caught though, you know.
That's true. They're heavyweights, man. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna, with zero confidence on this guy. I watched a couple of his fights. He's got a kickboxing background.
Yeah, you've seen him in like probably like compilation videos of like crazy knockouts. Like he's in them because like he's fought in. I'm telling you, he's just like a guy that's there for the entertainment factor.
Yeah, but he also has some kickboxing experience.
He
And
does.
stuff, you know?
I don't think
So
he's got a good record, but
this guy,
he does.
yeah, I mean, yeah, and like you said, his record is a little padded at 21-6
Yeah,
because
for sure.
a lot of his opponents weren't great by any means.
No,
Wait, is Bigfoot Silva still? Oh wait, no, he's
I don't
not.
think so.
He was gonna fight Bigfoot Silva.
Was he?
Yeah.
When? That's awesome.
He was supposed to fight him in December.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's known for those fucking fights. Like he's in. Like that's his business. Is selling some freak fights.
Yeah. So
some glory fights.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and I say Beast Boy Chris Barnett gets the win. I'm just not big on.
I'll side bet you.
Rothwell.
I'll side bet you on that one.
You wanna do a side bet?
Do a side bet.
Are we counting the odds into it?
You tell me. I think we should do straight up.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. What, are you looking it up?
Yeah. I mean, Big Ben Rothwell is a -200 favorite.
All right. What, you gonna take my money or what?
No, I'm not gonna put any money on it.
You're not gonna side bet me?
I'm not gonna side bet you.
Really? But what are you doing? Are you gonna text?
I'm looking at the odds on my phone.
Yeah, you get back to looking at them.
I don't like the odds, which makes me not want to do it.
You're confident in your boy, Chris Barnett. What are you doing? You are texting.
I was sending a text. Yeah, I sent a quick text.
You lied. You lied. You were texting. I caught you.
I was looking up the odds first.
Yeah, but I caught you red-handed right there texting. I can tell. All right. So okay, we're disagreeing. Dan doesn't have the cojones to side bet me. That's fine. I'm going Ben.
I went out on a limb and made a judgment call on a fight that I don't know about.
All right, I'm locking Big Ben Rothwell. Dan's going Chris Barnett. And next one, Bill Algeo versus Ricardo Ramos. Excuse me. Dan, you got this one?
Bill Algeo versus
Ricardo Ramos.
Ricardo Ramos. Ramos. Yeah, so Bill Algeo is, I feel like we've done this fight now like 4 times.
Yeah, we have done this before, actually. Did you change your pick?
Who did I originally pick?
Oh, I don't know. I remember who I originally picked, though. I stuck the same.
Who'd you originally pick?
Oh, yeah, I'll get there. I
got Ramos. I know Ramos is coming off that loss to Lerone Murphy, but I think Lerone Murphy's been a stud recently.
Talk about punching power.
Yeah, a lot of punching power.
Holy shit.
And then, yeah, he was coming off of 2 wins before that, and then before that he had a loss to Saeed Nurmagomedov, and that's gonna happen. The other 2 fights he fought in between them, he looked really good in. So I don't know. I'm just gonna take. I'm taking Ricardo Ramos in this fight. Bill Algeo has the win over Spike Carlisle, but that's like the biggest win he's gotten in his entire career, in my opinion. So I don't know.
So you're going Ricardo Ramos.
Going Ricardo Ramos.
Yeah. Bill Algeo 1-2 under the UFC umbrella, coming off his first UFC win over Spike Carlisle, like Dan just said. Algeo has some really great striking, averages 6.8 strikes per minute, and has a plus 1.5 striking differential. But his problem is that he can't stop the takedowns. And I think that's the reason for his first 2 UFC career losses. He's been taken down 3 times and 4 times, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times in his last 3 fights. He's going to be taking on a grappler in Ricardo Ramos, who averages 2 takedowns per fight at 56% accuracy. He wins mostly by submission, too. Both of his UFC losses have come by KO, and that really seems to be the trend of Ramos. The fights either get finished in the first round or he grinds out a late round submission or decision. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do. I think Ramos will be able to get the better of the grappling exchanges and grind out a win here.
I mean, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, awesome. We're both going Ricardo Ramos in that one right then. Moving right into the next one. Is the next one Jack Hermansen and Edmund Shabazzan?
It is. We already went over this, so I'll be quick. We'll be quick about it. Hermansen, herky-jerky style on the feet, submission artist on the ground, absolute stud on the ground, absolute stud all around. He's a top 6-ish middleweight. I don't think Shabazian's at his level yet. I think that Hermansen gets it done that quick.
Wow, that quick.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Jack Hermansen, like Dan said, 3-2 in his last 5. Lost to Marvin Vettori in his last time out in a very exciting unanimous decision loss. He's got a plus 1.6 striking differential. Gets 2 takedowns per fight with 75% takedown defense. Very well rounded, but excels on the ground, I'd say. Is no slouch on the feet, though, whatsoever. He's going to be taking on Edmund Shabazzan, who's 4-1 of his last 5, coming off his first career loss to Derek Brunson in a one-sided KO loss, where he was just taken down 4 times, and Brunson outstruck his significant strikes 2-1. He's also another great grappler, averages 4 per fight, not to mention some really heavy hands. Already with 3 first-round KOs in his UFC career. This is not a good bounce back fight for Shabazzan, considering that Brunson, a high level grappler like Hermansen, was able to take him down easily and have his way with him. So I'm gonna go with the more experienced fighter in Hermansen and agree with you on this one, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be harder for Hermansen to get the fight to the ground, but yeah, I agree overall.
Yeah, and you know what? If you look at, I don't want to talk bad about Edmund Shabazzan whatsoever, but if you look at his wins in the UFC, it's not great competition. And a Darren Stewart, who just recently, I think, finally got into, finally starting to get into a little groove and excel. And then he has wins over Charles Byrd, who I think is not good at all. And he has a win over Jack Marshman, who also I think is not a high level of competition if we're talking about UFC competition. So Jack Hermansen for sure in this one.
I mean, the Brad Tavares knockout was impressive.
Yeah, but even, it was. I don't really think too crazy of Brad Tavares, though. Goes to the decision a lot.
Brad Tavares is a beast, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's top 10.
He's a good striker.
He's not
at
top
the
10.
very least. He's a good striker.
He's a good striker. I don't think he'll ever break top 10, honestly. But he's one of those guys. He's
top 15 though.
He's a top 15, and he'll put up a good fight, especially on the feet. So we're gonna agree on that one. We're both going Jack Hermansen. All right. So the next one we got David Vorak versus Rulian Piaev. David Vorak, 2-1 in the UFC, has a 19-3 MMA record. He's finished 15 out of his last 19 wins, 8 by KO, 7 by sub. He's currently on a 15-fight winning streak and hasn't lost since 2012. He's constantly on his bike when he's fighting, has some really hard leg kicks. He's going to be taking on Rulian Piaev, who's 3-2 in the UFC and on a 2-fight winning streak. Even though I think that he stole his last fight from my boy Zhalgas Samugilov, I think Zhalgas took that one in my book. I bet on him. That was a robbery. Wins mostly by decision. 13 out of his wins coming by decision. He weighed in 3 pounds over his last time out, and he struggled with weigh-ins in the past. I think honestly, he could move up in weight. Dvorak has the advantage in all striking categories, and with both guys usually keeping the fight on the feet, I see Dvorak taking this one, and kind of dominantly.
Well, the thing is, Dvorak, I give. Now you're making me second guess my original opinion.
Yeah, I like Dvorak, and I think highly of Dvorak, and I think Zalgis beat Piava in the last one, so it's tough for me to gauge where he's sitting at right now.
I mean, Piava hit Zalgis with the harder shots when they fought,
but it's not like Zalgis got rocked.
He hit, yeah, but he landed like the cleaner strikes, and he landed a knock. He knocked out Mark De La Rosa.
Yeah.
He got TKO'd by.
Let me just say,
Bonturin by.
Can I say one thing?
By a cut, yeah.
Zalgis outstruck him. He had 2 takedowns. Piava had 0, and his accuracy was. Zalgis had 55 and Piava had 42. So nowhere do I see that Piava winning that fight. Honestly.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know. Like, it's tough to call.
I think Zalgis got robbed his first 2 fights. I think he won his last fight too. Call me crazy.
Zalgis?
Yeah.
Against Amir Albazi?
Yeah.
I mean, Albazi had had an extra takedown and.
Yeah, but I think.
And outstruck him.
No, Zalgis outstruck him, but
no, what's it called? Albazi outstruck him 68-59.
Oh yeah, you're right, 68-50, and then total strikes was 94-74. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But just give my boy Zalgis a win, dude. You know?
Yeah, you love yourself some Zalgis.
I think highly of him.
I mean, he's the, like you said, he's the greatest 0-2 fighter in the UFC.
I have said that.
But yeah, what's it called? Back to what we were saying. I was gonna take Piava originally. Now I think it's just gonna be like more of like a technical kickboxing battle. You know?
I could see it.
Dvorak definitely doesn't have the height, but the reach is nearly identical.
Yeah, it's about the same.
And Piava is young, so actually no. I'm gonna go back with my original pick. I got Piava edging out a close decision. I wouldn't bet on this fight though. I don't think it's. I don't think it's gonna be a dominating fight either way. This guy took Kai Kara France to a split decision.
Yeah, I would bet on it, but just bet David. Bet David Dvorak.
I mean, hey, if that's what Connor says, that's what Connor says.
All right,
but so yeah,
we're agreeing on this one. I'm going David Dvorak. Dan's going Rulian Piava, and we're gonna move right into the next one: Felicia Spencer versus Norma Dumont. Dan, take it.
Felicia Spencer. She's been through the gutter. Her only 2 losses in her UFC career are to Chris Cyborg, where she lasted to a decision, and Amanda Nunes, where she also lasted to a decision. So you can make the argument that she has the best chin out of all female fighters.
Facts.
Taking punches from both of them and surviving.
Yeah, dude, that's true. She might be the best featherweight, like the girl with the best chin at featherweight. That might be her.
I think in females MMA in general.
Oh wow, yeah, there you go. That's her claim to fame.
I mean, think about it. Amanda Nunes and Chris Cyborg are the two best
Female fighters
of all time.
Yeah.
And she got rocked and got hit a lot, but yeah.
I feel bad for her, man.
I feel bad for her too, but she's got a winnable fight against her when she's fighting Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont, she got knocked out by Megan Anderson 2 fights ago, and then she had a win over Ashley Evans Smith. She tried moving down. She moved down to bantamweight. She tried moving down to bantamweight in that fight. It was unsuccessful because she can't make the weight. She was going to try again against Erin Blanchfield recently too, and it just didn't work out either.
I think we both had Blanchfield in that. Oh no, I might have had Dumont. I think
you had Dumont. I had Blanchfield.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Felicia Spencer in this fight. I think she's been in there with like such high level fighters, and she's got a pretty extensive amateur record too. Norma Dumont is a lot fresher to the sport, and she got KO'd in 2020, so it's just not somebody that I want to take. I'm not saying Felicia Spencer is going to knock her out. She's more of a grappler, but yeah, I think Felicia Spencer gets her arm raised by the end of the night.
Yeah,
really confident in that one too.
Yeah, I'm totally agreeing with you on this one, Dan. Felicia Spencer, former Invicta featherweight champ, 2-2 in the UFC. Like Dan said, the only 2 losses by the 2 best female fighters of all time. She wins mostly by submission. She has a black belt in BJJ and Taekwondo. She's going to be taking on Norma Dumont, 1-1 in the UFC, coming off a dominant win over Ashley Evans Smith. But Ashley Evans Smith is not really that great of competition. Would you say?
No, I think she's out of the UFC now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's moving back up to featherweight, like Dan said, after missing weight her last time out. She's got a black belt in Sonda and a brown belt in BJJ. Dumont has a really high ceiling, but and like I like her a lot actually, but I think I'm gonna go with the more experienced fighter and Felicia Spencer for sure in this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, awesome. So we're both agreeing. Both going Felicia Spencer. We're going to move right into the next one. Justin Tafa versus Jared Vandera. Justin Tafa, 1-2 in the UFC, 4-2 MMA record, all wins coming by KO. Has some really crisp striking, a plus 0.7 striking differential, and averages 5.3 strikes per minute. And most recently coming off a wrong side of a split decision with Carlos Felipe. He's going to be taking on Jared Vandera, 1-1 in the UFC. Has an 11-5 record and coming off a loss from Sergey Spivak, where Spivak was just able to out-wrestle him. And Vandera ended up getting a late round and ended up KOing. Spivak KO'd Vandera in a late second round. That's what I meant to say. There you go. He's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage in this fight. I see this fight staying on the feet and is very tough because not only are they heavyweights, but they're kind of, I don't know, that we haven't really seen too much from them. I think that Tafa is the more technical of the two, but both have power and both guys like to strike, so anything could happen.
Stay away.
See, I don't even know who I'm picking right now. I have no idea.
I would say bet the under on this fight.
There you go. Who are you taking, Dan? Let me just.
I'm going to take Tafa.
You're going to take Tafa?
He knocks him out.
If it stays on the feet, he's got some decent stand up. Jared Vandera is more of like, dirty boxing type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with you, Dan. I'll go Justin Tafa on this one.
Yeah. So we both got Justin Tafa, and that'll move us into the co-main. I'll take that one, and then Connor will take the main event.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so for the co-main, we got Yan Xiaonan, top 5 female strawweight, battle of top 5 female strawweights. I believe Yan Xiaonan is one. One of these ladies is gonna be getting a title shot soon. Carla Esparza, She has won by split decision or majority decision in her last 3 fights. It goes a majority decision to Alexa Grasso, split decision over Michelle Watterson, split decision over Marina Rodriguez. She's a wrestler and her stand-up is just, I'm not going to say awful,
It's awful.
It's awful.
And she'll and not even only that, my biggest pet peeve with her, she'll just hold you up against the cage.
Yeah, so I hate Carla Esparza I hate the way she fights.
Yeah, me too.
I hate her with a burning passion.
Do you? I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, Carla Esparza is like my least favorite.
Also, the Cookie Monster.
There's a funny story of why that's her nickname, though.
It's not even funny though.
She was sneaking cookies in practice. That's pretty funny.
Cookies. That's not funny. That's fucking.
I got Yan Zhan on in this fight. You'll rarely find me taking somebody. You'll rarely see me taking a fighter that's fighting Carla Esparza. I fucking hate her. I hate fighters that just rely on their wrestling and their grappling and do nothing else other than wrestle and grapple and not try to finish the fight. And that's what she does.
Yeah. So just get ready for a decision in this one. Yan has an undefeated UFC record, 6-0, coming off a dominant win from Claudio.
On the feet, though. If she could stuff those takedowns, Yan Zhanan's going to finish her.
Yeah, I'm seeing the decision. Carla Esparza is tough. And Yan is coming off a dominant decision win over Claudia Gadelha. She was able to out-wrestle her, which is tough to say, and doubled her significant strikes. She has a plus 2.8 striking differential, averages over 6 strikes per minute, and has 75% takedown defense and accuracy. She's currently on an 11-fight winning streak and hasn't lost in over a decade. She's going to be taking on UFC veteran Carla Esparza, who's 4-1 in her last 5, recently coming off a split decision win over Marina Rodriguez. We know how Esparza fights. She wins from control time, like I said before, or from takedowns, but mostly just holding you up against the cage. Her last 2 losses come from being out grappled by Tatiana Suarez, who took her down 9 times, and Claudia Gadelha, who took her down 4 times. I think Yan will be able to get the better of her, and I'm pretty confidently picking Yan in this one. Actually, I'm not gonna lock it, but I'm because I think it's gonna go to a decision, but I'm confidently picking Yan in this.
That shows how good Tatiana Suarez is, because don't get me started on Tatiana Suarez, but she's really good.
She's really good.
But she took down Carla Esparza like Carla Esparza tries to take down everybody else.
Yep, with ease.
9
times, and Esparza didn't land 1. Yeah, that bad.
Okay.
So we're going to agree. We're both going with Yulon Yan. That's tough to say.
Yan
Zhaonan. And the thing, you know what I like about us, Dan? We don't care how we pronounce it. You see.
Oh yeah, well, like half the things we pronounce wrong.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm like.
Yeah, facts.
It does. Yeah, you get it. You're reading it in front of you. I'm not a linguist. All right. We're agreeing. Next one, the main event, Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt.
Oh my God, I'm looking forward to this one.
This one's going to be fun. Font 4-1 in his last 5 on a 3-fight winning streak, coming off a first-round KO over Marlon Moraes. He's a high-volume technical striker, averages 5.2 strikes per minute, a plus 1.37 striking differential. He does get taken down a little more than I'd like to see in a fighter. That's his biggest downside. He only has 48% takedown accuracy.
Taking him down.
But this fight is staying on the feet. Also, Font will have a 6-inch reach advantage. He's taken on Cody Garbrandt 2-3 in his last 5 and broke a 3-fight losing streak in his last time out against Rafael Asuncao. He's got an even striking differential and only 37% striking accuracy. His chin is very questionable, with all of his 3 losses coming by KO, and 2 happened in the very first round. he is pretty one-sided too, in my opinion, with all of his wins coming by KO, except for 2 where he went to decision. Rob Font, I think, is the more well-rounded of the 2. I think he has the better volume also of the 2.
If Cody Garbrandt had his greatest performance ever against Dominic Cruz, that performance against Dominic Cruz was near flawless.
Yeah. And I think you know that, Dan. I think super highly of Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Rob Font. This one was tough for me.
It's a tough one. I think that Cody No Love, a lot of people say he can't fight without emotion, but I think that he's crossed that threshold where he can
fight
without emotion. And I think he does that in this fight. And we get a super close, razor thin split decision because these guys are very technical strikers when it comes down to their abilities.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun to watch because we know it's staying on the feet. We know it's going to be like this crazy striking battle. But I think Rob Font has proved it to me where Cody Garbrandt, he got that one win last time out. He looked really good. I do agree with you. I think that he is able to take his emotion out of it now. But I think this is a bad matchup for him, honestly. I don't know how highly of you think of Rob Font, but I think that he's up there. And Cody Garbrandt has a lot of question marks.
He does.
I don't know. Do you know the odds?
I can look them up.
Yeah.
I'll look them up on my computer this time.
We got
it's basically it's a pick 'em.
It's a minus 130 plus 110 in favor of Rob Font.
In the one I saw, it was a pick 'em. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's close.
Definitely close.
But dude, the 6-inch reach advantage for a fight that's staying on the feet. That's big.
Cody's so good at getting
that jab. That jab might keep him at distance. He might just pick him apart.
Yeah, but Cody's very good at getting inside.
He is, and he's got some crazy power for a 135er.
No love.
No love.
I'm gonna take No Love in this fight.
I'm fan over Team Dillashaw or Garbrandt. I'm Garbrandt all day. Don't get me wrong.
Same.
But I think Rob Font's got this. I think he's got this.
It'll be a tough one though.
Tough one. Great fight. Great main event. Co-main, not so much. But
Cookie Monster.
Let's not get lost in that. Let's get lost in the good. We're gonna disagree. I'm going Rob Font. Dan's going Cody Garbrandt, and we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
That's about it. Great picks.
It's been real. It's been fun.
It's been
real. Yeah, hopefully our picks do a lot better this week. Actually, no, they will do better this week.
They will do. Yeah.
I
double down.
What?
I'm doubling down this week.
Same.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no brainer. Signing off.